Hi everyone. For the past couple months, people have been asking me to make a hardcore how-to video. I suspect this is due to the recent addition of hardcore mode in Bedrock. And rather than just string together a bunch of tips and tricks, I thought I would take the time to discuss my method and general strategies, how I approach the game, that things that help me survive in hardcore. I play hardcore mode in every game that has it, pretty much. So I have a lot of experience in that game mode type, and especially in Minecraft, I think it's the best way to play. So whether you're a hardcore veteran or you're just getting into hardcore, I hope there's stuff that's in this video that you find interesting. A lot of what I'm going to talk about would apply to any game, or even life in general. So sit back and relax, and let's get started. One of the first things to keep in mind is that your first day is a lot shorter than you think it's going to be. It's going to get dark real quick, so we're going to go ahead and punch a tree. Get some wood going. But we'll want to get... we need the progression path going pretty quickly. So we're going to get started. Not going to waste any time. We'll bring this with us because we don't know what we're doing yet. Whenever you're like just kind of scoping things out, punch the ground, gather up some seeds. We want to get some seeds planted right away. We don't know what's going to be around us. I'm just working my way over to where I saw this cliffside over here, and we're going to see what we've got here. Okay, so we've got a lot of exposed stone. We're going to set up right here, I think. There's not a village around. I was trying to keep it to where it's not necessarily worst case scenario, but it's not ideal. There's no huge boons waiting for us here. So we're going to grab some stone real quick. I want to work kind of fast. It's not so much that, you can always just dig a hole in the ground and hide in it when it gets dark. But we also want to make sure that some things are working for us immediately and that we have something to do while we're stuck underground. So I usually grab, 16, 17 pieces of cobblestone so I can make basic tools. All right. So around here, I saw some coal a second ago. I'm gonna go ahead and grab that if we can. Where did I see that? There's probably some right here. Yeah, there's some down there. So we got a nice cave right here next to us, and that's good. One piece of coal. That's amazing. There's a piece of iron down there. We're gonna brave it. I wouldn't recommend diving directly into a big cave on day one, but if from the mouth of the cave you see something useful, you have pretty good control. You can see everything, and there's daylight behind you if you need to get out of there in a hurry. So we want to make sure we have plenty of coal for torches, because we're going to be digging down right away. And here, a zombie. Wow. A couple of them in there. We'll let them burn. They offer us nothing at this moment. We're not going to need them for food. Work my way back over here. I'm looking for a cow or two. Would be nice. Go ahead and grab this sugar cane. But if you can't find food right away, if you just don't have animals in your area, look, what's looking like, oh, there's some pigs over there. We'll grab some pigs. Minecraft is really, it's hard to get yourself more than 100 blocks away from food, because there's water everywhere in Minecraft. You can always take an axe and get yourself, get yourself some fish. It's not a bad food source. It's kind of tedious. Kind of tedious to get a lot of fish in a short period of time, but it's not that bad. Bottom line is you're not going to starve. What we're going to be doing during the nighttime is not going to take that much. We're going to grab a couple of these flowers too, because I plan on making a bundle or two. Right now we're just taking care of some necessities like getting some food in our inventory, getting some crops planted maybe, taking a look at the surrounding area, and finding a place to take cover before the sun goes down. Look at this guy, he's hiding. You know what, I'm not going to do it. I can't do it. He's hiding, he's scared. As much as I love all of the rapid fire tips and tricks videos that are out there, the hardcore players that are making it to the 1,000 and beyond day mark are not doing that because they learned how to abuse villager mechanics or found some special use for an item. They're surviving that long because of their method and how they generally navigate the game, and that's what we're going to be talking about here. If you got 2 cows at spawn and you're planning on being there for a while, don't kill them all. I'm gonna take 2 of them out. I'm gonna leave those 2 so I can breed them if I need to, in case there aren't a bunch around. But we're just getting basic stuff. Next thing I want to do is grab plenty of wood. If you like this content, let me know in the comment section and I will keep making more of these. This is the seed that I'm on right now if you'd like to play along. You know, we've got our handy hoe here. So let's go ahead right out of the gate. Let's get these seeds planted. And we'll be glad we did. Doing this in case there's no village around, and not all villages have hay. But you need hay to breed cows, to get leather, to get books, to get enchants. Alright. Got a little bit of sugar cane. We'll drop that down. And now the sun is already going down on day 1. What do we got here? I love finding a small cave like this on day 1. It's really easy to kind of close it off and make it safe. And you know, there's plenty of room in it for what we're going to be doing for the moment. So it's a great place to kind of kick off a little base camp. There we go. And then we can dig out some of this. Make ourselves a little home here for the time being. And this will be our safety point for both above and below ground excursions. Drop a couple torches. And we're safe. And even though it's just a simple cave base, it's our controlled space. It's a pivot point for us to operate out of. When we walk out into the overworld, our controlled space is to our back. And when we dig down at the mines, our controlled space, again, is to our back. You always want to own the space behind you, or at least know what's there. That's a big part of surviving in Minecraft. If you can control the space behind you, then you have a much safer endeavor into the space that's in front of you. You always have an exit. Know when to flee and have a place to go. So we're not wasting any time. It's dark outside. We don't want to go outside. We don't need to go outside. I'll talk more about space control when we dig down into our first cave, but for right now, we need to take care of cooking a little bit of food. All right. Now let's drop a couple things here. Get that. It's raining outside. I'm gonna make 2 furnaces. I'll stack them up there. We're gonna make campfire, and this is going to get into kind of what I'm talking about here about hardcore and how you can enjoy it. In a regular survival world, I would not bother cooking food on a campfire, but I like cooking food on a campfire. I want to have to. Okay, it's a cool mechanic. You're playing hardcore, why not? You know, I have very little coal right now. It's fairly dangerous to go outside. I have a bunch of uncooked food. Why not? Throw it on the campfire. I'll use one plank to cook that, smelt up that iron. You know, cooking food on this campfire really illustrates one of my favorite things about hardcore. All of the little mechanics and extra features that are in the game that you normally just pass right over in normal survival because, I mean, what's the worst that can happen? You know, you respawn, you pick up your items. Those features and abilities become really attractive when you're playing hardcore. It slows your gameplay down. The best real-world analog I can give you is if you've ever received like a nice survival kit or maybe a road hazard kit as a gift, and you know you love it, but you know you're never going to use it. And not that you want an emergency, but you'd love an excuse to use like the fancy gadgets and stuff that's in the kit. Well, that is hardcore. Basically, it is that opportunity to use the stuff and have an actual reason to use the stuff that's built into the game to help you survive. Knowing that you could lose your progress at any moment, it encourages you to take every advantage that you can and slow down, and you get more enjoyment out of your gameplay, in my opinion. You can see, like, we're trapped inside. We're going to make 2 servings of doors. We're going to make a boat, which we're going to be needing. Let's see if we can let a baby zombie in right here immediately. Be very careful, right? Here, so this is the kind of thing that you want to be careful of. There's probably some mobs above me. Creepers have a way of falling on your head and blowing you up instantly. That's better. Home sweet home. All right. For the rest of the night, because we don't have much else to do, we're going to go ahead and start digging down a little bit. Now, there is a cave over there next to us, which we will almost certainly go into. But there's not much else we can do right now. We can't sleep. We don't want to be running around outside. The reason that we're not running over to that open cave we found earlier is because it is completely alien territory. And our controlled space, which is currently behind us, is a pretty good distance. And it's nighttime. If we dig down here, we may find some iron and help us get some armor. But if we open up a cave while we're digging, again, our controlled space is to our back. So we control our exit. In that cave, that's not the case. If we have to run out, it's nighttime, and we could just be running out into more mobs. Hardcore can take patience, game expertise, solid mechanics, but more than anything, hardcore is about decision making. Not putting yourself in situations that you are likely to get got in. And when you do have to take a risk, knowing how to prepare both yourself and the environment so that you're more likely to survive it. We want to make sure that all of our space, everything around us right now, is under our control. Now, the only caveat to that is we have a wooden door, and in hardcore, zombies can break down the door, but they don't do it on a whim. They have to be fairly close to you and kind of chasing you down, and then they'll do it. But once you're safe inside, they're not really a thing. I'll also, when the sun comes up, I'll show you how to place your door in such a way that a zombie cannot, or basically they think the door is already open, so they won't attack it. When you place a door, it's placed in the closed position. The first time you right click on it, you're opening it. If you place it like this instead, now this is the closed position and this is open. If a zombie walks up to this door, they think it's open, so there's no need for them to break it down, but they still can't get through it. We should be running into something. Almost always do. You also want to be very careful in a situation like this right here. And I know this seems stupid. It's like what could possibly go wrong? But to be honest with you, this is if you're not paying attention, because there could be a creeper on top of whatever this gravel is doing up top here. And as I dig it out, he just kind of elevators down, and now he's just standing in front of my face. So if I'm not paying attention when that happens, that could be very bad. So you just want to be careful. Just think about hardcore. You kind of always want to be on alert. You can see there's nothing up there. Not worried about it now. All this is going to fall. I know it seems kind of dumb to worry about something like that, but that's honestly the kind of thing that will happen to you in hardcore that will end your world. So it never hurts to be careful. Might hit a water pocket or something, which is incredibly annoying. We're about to dig into a cave system, which is great because we can explore this cave from the safety of our own base exit. That means that we control the space behind us again, and we can slowly light the cave up from our entrance and take over control of that space as well. It is a much safer way to go caving, in my opinion. We have no armor, but we do have a shield. So we have a shield, we have an axe, we're fairly capable already. We can deal with normal mobs. Now, it's raining. Now, an Enderman give us a hard time right now. Endermen have a way of really doing a lot of damage and just embarrassing you. All right. Well, it's raining. We're going to replenish our stores. We're going to take our boat. Actually, I'm going to go ahead and drop this campfire down. Put it right up here. We'll put it out in the open. All right. A little bit of dirt. Let's fill this in. Very important. It's not really, but it will bother me. We go grab some more wood. Let's hop in our boat. Let's take a little peek out here. It's a shame it's raining, but it's Minecraft. Our cows are still kind of chilling out there. We want to be able to breed them pretty quickly. You know, there's not a village right here in our face. There's probably one close by, but there may not be in your world. So what we're going to try and do, eventually, it won't be in the first 5 days, but we're going to rely on just standard enchanting. And we can do that ourselves as long as we get the ball rolling on it quickly, which we did. We planted a farm already. We've got some sugarcane going. I'm just kind of taking a peek out here and see what we got. Got some horses, so we might, if this is a huge area of land, that might be a decent way to travel. I see some sheep out there, but we're not gonna do that just yet. But nothing crazy. Getting some more seeds. May as well. I gotta walk this way anyway. I may as well be doing something. Alright. I was hoping to see like some more cows over here. Might grab a couple of them. I was hoping to see like a ruined portal or something. The other thing, one of the other reasons I picked this world is we're not right on an ocean. And oceans can be a little OP. So we're trying to keep it a little more rugged. Yeah, there's a lot that you can get out of oceans. I mean, you can just kind of farm sunken ships. Get a little bit more food. We'll grab some more wood. We're going to do some caving, or in that little cave that we found. We'll see where that goes. But I like hitting caves as I'm digging down like that. Your vantage point on the cave is fairly controlled. You have an entrance that you control. It can be marked, made easy to find. All right. You survived today, pig. Some pumpkins. And see, this is why I like to do that. I can see from here that smoke rising, if the light's going. Very easy for me to find it. If I stray off, I get turned around. It's in the middle of the night. I got a bunch of mobs bearing down on me. I've got a little beacon going on over there. When we get enough hay, we'll put a block of hay under that campfire, and it will cause the smoke to rise a lot higher as well. If you're wondering why I haven't put a day counter up, it's because it doesn't matter. And I don't want anyone playing along with this to feel like they're lagging behind because they haven't done something by day 3. Hardcore is all about taking your time and enjoying the game and making the most out of the things you find, even small things. A Silk Touch golden axe right now, I would be absolutely thrilled. In a normal world, I'd probably just toss it, or I wouldn't even take it out of the chest. But that could mean, you know, like starting to cultivate bees already, which is kind of cool. You kind of, you know, you have a a cure for poison. Which again, is nothing like mind-blowing, but in hardcore, it could help you. All right. Did we pick up any more sugarcane? We did. We're gonna get this stuff going, like right immediately. Like we already have a pretty good amount of sugarcane here on day 2. Did not grab as much wood as I wanted. Do we have any saplings? Let's run over here real quick. It's about to get dark, but we do have our shields. Hardcore has helped me learn a life lesson that I've always known, but it's really hard to put into practice, and that's try your best to live in the present if you can, because that's really all that there is. The past is behind you and the future isn't here yet, and thinking about, well, what's it going to be like when we get iron armor or netherite, just put that out of your mind and enjoy what you're doing right now. I could grab a couple saplings if I can. Life is much the same way. If you spend a lot of time thinking about, well, what's it going to be like when I graduate, when I, you know, get married or have kids or get the job I want or get the house I want or the lifestyle I want, you're just burning the present. 5 saplings will do it. When you're playing hardcore like this, you need to be thinking like of the long haul, you know? Like, you may not get like everything done today. That's okay. Because hopefully you're going to be playing this world for a while. Alright. Got plenty of raw beef. We got a bunch of wood. And we know what's that way, and it ain't much. We will poke our head over this mountain at some point. But as of right now, we're going to keep digging down and hopefully find some iron. Toss that on there. Don't need the copper. I am going to kind of keep my eye out for a spider or two. It would be excellent. Actually, I'm going to go ahead and drop these down. I don't want them like in front of my base so much. Just wherever. Okay. Got some beef. 52 torches. What else do we need? Need Make another. I mean, at this point, I'll probably make 2 pickaxes. I always keep my first wooden pickaxe. Just I don't know. Again, it's a hardcore world, so when you're at 100 days, you can fully enchant that wooden pickaxe, throw it up on an item frame. It's a good feeling. Sounds close. All right. Put our food, our blocks. That is good for the moment. Back down into the mine we go. All right. So here we have this classic punched into a cave while digging down. First thing I like to do is toss some light out wherever I can, in every direction. I use the subtitles quite a bit, but this is kind of the first instance of control the space behind you. The easiest way to safely navigate space in front of you is to absolutely own the space behind you. So we're going to make it very easy for us to get out of here. But plenty of light. Nice and smooth, nothing to get hung up on, because you really don't know. I mean, you end up with an Enderman after you or something like that, and you've created a area that's an absolute nightmare for you to navigate, like physically. That's a really, really bad situation. This is fairly... This is a good cave. Let's see what... this might be easier to get to. First thing we're going to do is take this iron immediately. That's great. And, you know, I can't see what's behind that, but I don't want a baby zombie to drop on my head. So let's just plug it. Let's be done with it. Torches. Plenty of torches. Plenty of light. So right here, like, there's nothing down here. Like, there's no mobs. And this will happen because they're probably spawned in above us because we've been working our way down. But they're still, you know, close enough to persist. We're going to make ourselves a fairly comfortable staircase. Remember, we don't have any armor right now. So we need to be able to escape. We need to be able to bravely run away. My biggest concern walking into a cave like this is what is above me, because a lot of times that's where the danger comes from, is that there's a ledge somewhere that you didn't see, and there's just a creeper chilling on it, and he will drop on your head. He's more than happy to drop on your head for you. He loves it. That's what he practices. So any of these little spots like this, just light them up. Just light them up. Also, be very careful when you're walking around with the shield in your left hand and torches in your right, because the game will prioritize the placing of torches over the usage of the shield. And wow, there's like nobody down here. I mean, this is very fortunate. I mean, there's mobs out there. That zombie spotted me. He's bored to death out here. There's nothing going on. But we're going to grab some of this iron while we're waiting on him. Always filling holes. Things to get caught up on. Takes 2 seconds to do it. Why not just do it? Okay, that's pretty deep there. And this is why I wanted to save all the coal. I hate waiting for logs to smelt. It's just like it's painful. So get some use out of that campfire, mechanic. We're gonna get this stuff out of here. And now we're just slowly expanding our reach in this cave and ultimately making it a part of our base. And when we do go out and build a starter home, this temporary base camp will become a mine entrance to a cave system that we already have a good amount of control over. And so this is how I prefer to do it. Different people are going to have different methods, but I've found this to be certainly the safest when you're in hardcore and you haven't even gotten armor yet. And it may be daytime. I don't really care about that. There's not a whole lot I need to do outside. Hopefully, my farm is still, close enough. This is also just a really good Y level to be at this point in the game. We're primarily looking for coal and iron, so we can get our basic armor together and a solid fuel source. So this area just above Deep Slate is the perfect place to kind of get started in our caving endeavors. But we're going to take this opportunity to grab some iron. And we're working from our entrance out. And we're taking care of little areas like this. These are the ones that the mobs spawn in when you're not paying attention and then come up behind you in between you and your entrance. And that's bad. You don't want that. Another thing you may notice that I'm doing is that block that I just took out right there. The reason I take that block out is whenever you're digging for ores that are on the ground, like these that are in front of me here, you want to build the staircase so that those ores are probably 2 blocks deep. You want to build your staircase out of that hole as you go into that hole. You don't want to wait until a mob drops in there with you and you can't place a block over them to worry about how you're going to get out of that little pit. But yeah, even though it's kind of a boring looking area, you're never very far away from something just like this. Now, I will admit, there has been a fairly low quantity of mobs in here. Not always going to be that way, but good lord, he got more hits off on me than I care to admit. But the thing about that is, even if there were a bunch of mobs in here, what you basically do is poke your head in, place torches as far out as you can safely get, and then go back. That's it. Don't feel like you got to push through 100 mobs. That skeleton right there, in our current state, he's fairly dangerous. We don't have armor on. A couple hits and we're done. So we want to try to avoid that, gentleman, if we can. So I'm not worried about getting the rest of that iron in there. I'm going to fill these in. This is our cave now. We own this cave. It's not their cave anymore. And it's important to kind of understand how mobs work. And I don't mean how they mechanically operate or how they're programmed. I'm talking mainly about how they synergize, how the different mobs in the game work together to make bad situations worse for you. For instance, think about the skeleton and zombie combo. This pair of mobs works basically like an English hunting party. There is a ranged unit that is the actual threat in the skeleton, and then the zombie is essentially a hunting dog. And his job is to flush you out of cover and back in range of the skeleton. And just thinking about this kind of thing can help you survive in this game. Just knowing how they operate together. Okay, this is what I was looking for. That's excellent. The geode right there. And a creeper. Let him do his thing. I don't have any more cobblestone on me. If you're comfortable operating in third person like this, it's not a bad idea when you're mining. It gives you a little bit more visibility around yourself. You know, but like anything, be careful. You can get frazzled if you're not super used to playing like this and end up in a bad situation. But if you can master it, it is safer. I can see if something's close to me that I wouldn't otherwise be able to see. And I think that's about all the risk taken that we're going to do. And there's nothing wrong with that. There's nothing wrong with hopping out at this point. You know, we have a bunch of iron. The other thing is we're very early on in this playthrough, so if you're going to take risks, I recommend, you know, moderate risk. Take them early, and that way, you know, something happens. It's not the end of the world. You can start over. Take the rest of this coal. But we're pretty safe right here at this point. The torches have helped us a lot. Again, that's why you want to save that coal. Use campfire. You can't smelt iron using a campfire, but okay. All right, we're gonna hop out of here. Very easy to get out of our cave. The big no-nos are dropping down into things or leaving 2-block high jumps behind you. That's a very bad thing to get in the habit of doing. All right, we got a bunch of coal now, so we're going to split it up. We're going to split this iron up. And we're going to smelt that down. Slowly making progress here. We want a red, we want a blue, but we're going to start with just let's see, something that you're going to pick up kind of as you go. We're going to make one bundle. We're going to dye it blue. There's our bundle. We're going to make a bow. And we have, just from the chickens and some just basic, very basic actions, we've got ourselves a bow and 4 arrows. It's not great, but it's not a bad start. We're going to keep things like this in here. These kinds of supplies. That way, if we're out and about and we need to make some arrows, we've got some general supplies that can go up. Don't need that on us. Don't need that on us. I'm gonna resupply our cobblestone here, and we're gonna go check on our farms. Multiply our sugarcane. You know, this is the kind of stuff that you can do during the day while you're building supplies in the caves. But that, you know, that was kind of ideal. We found a decent sized little cave while we were digging down. And we'll have a pretty safe path to bedrock. Didn't mean to take that. Now I'm going to talk about something I'm terrible with in this game and in real life as well. And see, this is my bad. One of the biggest tips I can give you in this game is eat. Make sure you're eating. I'm really bad about it. It's a tip I know, but I often do not abide by my own advice. But you really got to eat. When you're getting chased down by mobs, that's a bad time to eat. That's when you don't want to eat. It takes time to eat. Got some more seeds here. We'll go ahead and plant just for fun of it. You see, I don't want to be messing around with finding paper. All right. Got a little bit of hay. Now, we don't have a lead. It would be great if we did. But what day are we on now? All right. Day 2, technically day 3. Where did our boat go? There it is. But again, if you're playing along with this, don't worry about what day it is. It doesn't really matter. Just take your time and enjoy your playthrough. All right, well, we got our first hay. It's a little late in the day to do what we want to do with it. So we're going to go back in because we have plenty of stuff to do inside. All of the iron we found while we were mining should have smelted by now, so we are ready to make armor and tools. Okay. We got a ton of iron. So we're going to go ahead and make our armor. And you definitely want to be careful stacking your crafting materials like that. I have been known to make 5 or 6 diamond helmets. Gonna make a pickaxe. We're going to get rid of all of this junk. And maybe the most important tool that we're going to make is our bucket. If you watched one of my previous videos on tools, then you will know exactly how I feel about the bucket in Minecraft. It's normally something we probably should have made it earlier than we did, but the bucket has just so many uses. If you're not familiar with all of them, definitely go and watch that video. Really like to get this skeleton. Some bones. Now that we have gotten some basic armor, we can do things like kill skeletons for bones and bone meal, and just kind of expand. Another couple skeletons. But I don't want to use my arrows. I don't have many. We'll let them fight it out. And the skeleton. Aggroing a couple skeletons on each other are super helpful. I really don't want you to blow up my... Please don't blow up my farm. Let's see if that other skeleton dropped anything. He did. More arrows. This is low risk activity. Low nighttime risk activity. Just killing a couple mobs. This is not a step that you have to really concern yourself with. I'm just taking the time to do it. Back inside we go. All right. Our string. I will say 2 more string. We'll probably use those for bundles. Now I'll cover this. I'm not going to make a big to-do about this, even though this is the primary way that I mine in hardcore these days. If you're in Java, aquifer mining is really the safest, probably best way to mine. I can't tell how deep that is. Doesn't look super deep. But one of the great things about it is you can do it in the middle of the night. It doesn't matter. Yeah, here we go. We got a ravine over here. So we're going to check this out. Now, at this point, you can swap your shield off. You're not going to need it. Now, you may need it if one of those guys happens to have a trident. It doesn't look like he does at the moment. So what you can do is just leave it on your hotbar and swap it. But let's swim down. All right, it's not super deep. We got some depth over here. Obviously, you can crouch on tougher than he looks. Crouch on magma cubes. But I'm gonna talk a little bit about. Yeah, we don't have a huge. We don't have much to work with here. But let's just, for the sake of discussing it, the easiest way to place a door is like that. Swim at the corner and then place, just right click. And you'll get a perfect placement of the door every time. If you kind of, if in the past you've kind of hovered over and tried to, you know that you're partially in the way, it won't sit down. Meanwhile, you're drowning. And I'll do it one more time here in a second. But it is the best way to place the door underwater. Aquifer mining is just incredibly safe. That is a legit cave. My hotkey's got wonky somehow. But just to show it again, just swim directly into the corner and just right click. You can get it down a lot faster that way. The other thing I would say, the other tip I would provide, make more than 3 doors when you do this. That's just my advice, because what can happen. I'm tempted to check that cave out. Let's see what else. This is not a great ravine, really. It's not that deep, but you know, you're drowning super quick. But make a stack of doors. Don't just go in with like 3 doors, because what happens is, if you find like a really good cave, underwater cave, and you're mining, you'll occasionally leave a door. You know, you'll have a door down, you'll run over, you'll leave a door. You'll slowly lose your doors over time. What'll happen is, about the time you don't notice that you've placed your last door, you have an open spot on your hotbar. You're going to pick something up and it's going to replace that door. And then you're going to break the door and you're going to swim off. But you're not going to pick the door up. The door is just going to float behind you. And you're not going to realize this until you're drowning and a pretty good distance away from your floating door that you now can't find. So that's just a little tip. Be careful with that. Oh, one more thing. Another reason to have the bucket on your hotbar all the time is you can go into a corner, just hold the space bar. I'm holding one button right now, and just spam your right click, and you can see that my bubbles are returning. So, you know, worst case scenario, that will save you Just a good old bucket. Use number 3 million of the bucket. If you've seen my tool video, you know just how fond of the bucket I am. All right. Headed back. Oh. Let's go ahead and get this out of the way real quick. You really want to get this going as quickly as you can. It can take some time. I mean, you can always run around and just hunt cows down, but it can take a while. You need 45 pieces of leather before you have things like looting. You may not even get leather every time you take out a cow. It could be a pain. Okay. Let's make ourselves a little pin here. I like to use trapdoors. They're just quicker to make, honestly, and they work pretty good. Obviously, if you're in Java, you have the benefit of using this, which will prevent you from murdering the cow. There we go. All right, cows, let's go. Because they can jump in, but they cannot get out. But you can get out. It's kind of great. All right. Here we go. Our first baby cow. Our farm's looking pretty good. Pick up our boat. All right. Our little camp is coming along quite nicely. We're fully outfitted. Smelt up the rest of this iron. Okay. Now it's at this point where we can go a bit deeper in the cave. We got 7 arrows. We're pretty well set up. Got our shield. Yeah, we're looking fairly capable. All right, sun's gonna be going down soon. And we're gonna spend our last night here. Well, we're looking pretty good. The next thing we need is enough diamonds to make a diamond pickaxe. And after tonight, we will be into day 5. It's been our last night here down in the cave. We're gonna go a bit deeper. That's a way to get a little bit lower if we wanted to. Well, I hope that you've been enjoying this video. And if you have, let me know in the comments, and I will continue to make more of these. Don't forget to hit the notifications bell and the subscribe button if you want to be alerted when new videos come out. See how far this goes. We're going to drop water. We're going to leave that water. And if you notice, I'm descending down into this area from an area that I already control. And when I get to the bottom, I'm going to treat it the exact same way. You're going to clear the space like you're a one-person SWAT team, basically. And always watch your 6. We got plenty of light here. As far as our way back up is concerned, we can just follow the water. I really appreciate the fact that you've watched the video this far in. I'm super proud to be part of the Minecraft YouTube community, and it means a lot to me to be able to help other players in any way I can. And there we go. Our first diamonds. And we are at -35. Not too bad without having to dig. We got 1 diamond. Oh. Always dig around. Once I find the first 3 diamonds, I'm less concerned with mining them as I am with finding them, because I'm going to keep the rest of them in place that I find until I have fortune 3. But if we need to get out of here in a hurry, we got our water right there. We just follow our trail of torches back to it. Let's see what else we got. way to get much deeper over here. My man is chilling. But you know, because we did a good job of lighting up the kind of the beginning part of this cave, the mobs aren't too bad down here. Should be nighttime on the surface, and when the sun comes up, we are going to go and explore. And I'm sure there's a lot of stuff to find. This is an interesting little pit, but again, like I was saying earlier, you want to avoid just dropping down into areas. So what I'll do is dig myself a rudimentary staircase down. Now the last thing I want to do right now is drop down in there. That's just, if you have a lot of experience in Minecraft, I mean, in my own world, I would almost certainly just drop down there. But as far as my advice to anyone who's maybe a little newer in hardcore, and I don't mean newer in Minecraft, but hardcore specifically. All I'm doing right now is kind of looking for easy diamonds, like right there. Well, we got our 3 diamonds, so we're going to get out of here. Obviously, in your own world, feel free to grab as many diamonds as you want. But I'm trying to play it safe for anyone watching along that's really new. You don't have to rush to full diamond right away. Three diamonds. Enough for our first diamond pickaxe. And as the sun rises on day 5, we are going to head out with our diamond pick and see what else we can find out there. Maybe we'll find a structure or even a village. But this is the point where no matter what your level of play, you should be able to kind of head out there and start taking some more chances. We will keep our iron one for junk use. So it is day 5, technically, as the counter starts off at 0. Did you have to go in there, bro? Really? I'm gonna run over this direction. See what is over here. Our little camp over there is not doing too bad. So it's at this point in the game where really anything's possible. We have full iron, everything. We've got a diamond pickaxe if we come up on anything useful. And this is the first time I've popped my head over this particular hill. And at this point, I'm really looking for a village for villagers, or a shipwreck, or really anything. Most of the time you're not far from that in any given Minecraft world, but I have had more than one world where I was 600 plus blocks away from a village. So we'll see. Alright, so it's day 5 and we're pretty well set up. We've got all of our iron gear and a diamond pickaxe, and really at this point in the game is where I would be making the decision, am I going to stay where I'm at, or am I going to move? In the case of this world, I would probably move on and try and find some more interesting terrain. But hopefully you found look at this. This is a really great find. Shipwrecks are super powerful early game. They'll have food, they'll have iron, and almost always a buried treasure map, which is extremely handy most of the time. So I have some basic supplies on me. It's day 5 and I'm headed straight north. I tend to go in one direction when I leave spawn. Try not to eat up a bunch of chunks around it. And look what we got here. We have our first shipwreck. Let's see if there's anything useful in here. There almost always is. Look at the iron. This is about 200 blocks from our base. Armor trims, coal. Take the potatoes. Buried treasure map and some books. Very nice. Let's see if we can find this buried treasure and see what's in it. Wow. Oh, there's the X. I thought I was like literally standing on it. Well, that can't possibly be. All right. Let's go see what kind of treasure we've got. I don't know if you're familiar with this. You may or may not be. If you're in Java, you can hit F3 and notice the block coordinates. I'll highlight them. If you move yourself to where the first number is 9 and the second number, or the third number is 9, and go straight down, there we go. 2 more diamonds, more gold, iron, hard to see. Got a village right there. Let's go check out this village. I will take that, sir. Wow, that's hazardous. Got a crafting table. More potatoes, thank you. Wow, this is a hazardous village. Surprised any of these guys are still alive. Well, there's no blacksmith. Let's see what's atop the hill here. Well, this has been 5 days in hardcore, and I hope that I've been able to help. If you're new to hardcore, get a little bit more comfortable with how to play the game safely and get the most out of it. If you like this, leave me a comment. If it gets a reasonable amount of views, I'll keep this going and move into enchanting and going to the Nether and all the tips that that go along with that. There's a creeper chilling back there, just waiting for me to look away. But yeah, thanks a bunch for stopping by, and I'll see you on the next one.